So is there a frequency that telepathy is a natural, automatic kind of thing?
Yes, the frequency of unconditional love.
And what about like in cycles per second?
Well, the idea, again, is that when you operate above 200,000 cycles per second, then it becomes more natural to experience the idea of telepathic communication.
And that experience of telepathic communication can be experienced as like hearing the person's voice talking to you in your head?
It can be, but true telepathy is more of a simple receiving of an entire block of information in the form of suddenly simply knowing what the other person is intending. It may come as images, it may come as voices, but it is more likely simply to come as a knowing. You just suddenly know it. There's no mistaking it. It cannot be mistaken for imagination. It is simply that the knowledge is suddenly within you as if it has always been there.
So is there such a thing as like a telepathic conversation with another person that's in another room because your frequency is so high?
Yes, although such a conversation wouldn't last very long in terms of time, because again, you have instant knowingness, an instant exchange of knowledge and perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Do ETs ever reveal themselves to people flying in airplanes?
Yes, sometimes. You have many what you call UFO reports of people in airplanes saying that they saw craft outside the airplane windows.
Should we high five them?
If you wish. They may high five you back if they have 5 fingers.
Okay. You mentioned there will be a new Earth satellite, which represents male energy when male energy is more balanced in the future. Can you tell us more about that?
All we can say at this time is that it will be something akin to a captured asteroid that will fall into a regular orbit around your planet and in a sense become a much smaller secondary moon.
Do you have any timeline on that?
No.
Okay. Our CPUs are currently upwards of 100 billion transistors on them. Are there transitions for Asasani CPUs in your time?
Transitions?
Transistors.
Oh, we do not use transistors. What you may recognize as a computer or a form of AI is purely made of intersecting beams of light. And the equivalent would be 150 trillion operations per second.
Interesting. If you've never had names, then how do you address each other and identify each other? For instance, if you're referencing another being in a conversation, how do you identify that entity to the person that you're talking to?
Remember that our society is purely telepathic, and everyone has a signature frequency. Therefore, by mirroring or reflecting the signature frequency of another individual that is unique, everyone would know exactly who we are referencing.
Okay. This person says that they've been getting a strong buzz when they watch your seminars online in real time, and that they've also gotten a similar version of that if they miss the transition and they watch the recording afterwards. Is this a preparation for something?
Well, it's a preparation for raising your frequency because the buzz you're feeling is the matching of the frequency that we give off. Even if it's not a live session, the idea of our frequency is sort of embedded in anything that represents the session, like a permission slip. So even though it may not feel completely identical to a live session, the frequency is still embedded in any projection of the communication that we have delivered. Therefore, you will still, if you're willing to match our frequency, still feel some mirroring or reflection of that frequency within you, which you may interpret as a kind of buzz of electricity or in some other way.
So for many people, because you're coming in at a higher frequency, as soon as we match that, we start experiencing ourselves from that level.
Yes. Yes. And again, since everything is embedded in existence in space-time, then all you're doing by watching a replay of the communication is, again, you are tapping into that frequency to some degree and allowing yourself to begin to identify and mirror and match that frequency, because all information is here and now.
Like some people have noticed that if they listen to one of your recordings, every time they hear something different. And
Yes.
my understanding is that has to do with the information is holographic in that sense. So it will, how does that work? Maybe you can explain.
Well, you have said it yourself. It's holographic, which means you can have many different kinds of layers of information, but being a holographic structure, you will only perceive what you are the vibration of. So listening to it one time or perceiving it the first time, you may be of a certain frequency that only receives a certain amount of the information that is embedded in the transmission. But if you change your frequency, the next time there are different layers within it that have always been there, but may have been inaudible or invisible to you. But by changing your frequency, now you can pick up on those layers because they are of a different frequency as well.
So that's very exciting, because that means that even if a person evolves to higher and higher frequencies, every time they listen to one of your transmissions, they have the opportunity to hear information that they were not able to access before.
Well, yes, and it might not even be that they hear the information. It might suddenly be that by listening to it, they are suddenly receiving an inspiration they didn't receive before. Again, it may come telepathically. It may simply present itself automatically and instantly in their mind as a fully fleshed out idea or concept or inspiration that they didn't have the first time. It may come that way. It's not necessarily something that would be delivered to them auditorily.
So that means even after all of us are long gone, listening to one of these transmissions will provide that opportunity to whoever is listening.
Absolutely. Because everything exists in the now and never goes away.